We do this every week, and it's so wonderful to meet up with people all across the world who are in the ILN business opportunity. But tonight we're going to talk about conquering our limiting beliefs. So whether you're in business or whether you're in ILN, doesn't really matter. This is going to be helpful to you. But tonight, what I would like to do first, before we get into the subject matter, is to say hello to all the team in the Hangout. So first of all, we're going to ask Christy to say a little bit about herself. I'll be the last one to announce who I am and where I'm from, and we're going to unmute you, and you're on air now. Hello, Christy.
Yes, hello, I'm Christy. I am situated down in southern Spain because I like palm trees, I like the beach, I like the sun, so that's where I am. And I am in Ireland because I love working online. I love meeting like-minded people like myself that believe in their dreams, in possibilities, in going forward, learning new things every day, studying from the masters that have learned so much. I want to, or I am walking in their footsteps. So I am 33 years old, and I'm originally from Denmark, and I just love traveling. I've traveled and lived many places, the UK, the US, Guatemala, and traveled even more countries. But now I am here in Spain, and let's see how long that lasts. So yeah, I'm just enjoying my life as I can, and yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Wonderful, Christy. Thank you. I wonder if we could go to Phil and ask Phil to say a few words.
Good afternoon, good evening, guys. So yeah, my name's Phil Blow, co-founder of Team Phoenix. I've been in Ireland now for what are we up to, about 6 months or something like that. I am from the UK. It's short and sweet from me.
Wonderful, thank you very much. And Tara, would you like to come and say a few words in the live on air chat here?
Hello, Andrew. I'm
Hello.
so excited. You're hosting this week. How awesome!
Unbelievable.
I believe it now. I believe it now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Karen Woodruff, and I'm originally from New York, but right now I live in Florida with my entire family.
Lovely.
I have 3 generations in the house. My mom, my daughter. Oh wait, that's 4, and my granddaughter.
Wow.
And my granddaughter's daddy. I'm in Internet Lifestyle Network because it's absolutely amazing. This is, for me, this is my breakthrough company. I absolutely love every single minute that I'm in this company, and I love every single minute I'm in Team Phoenix. So that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm 42 years old. I don't know. What else would I say?
It's very nice of you to say anything at all. Thank you. It was lovely to hear from you, Tara. We'll probably hear from each member of the panel later on after I've presented my little talk. But maybe we could go now to Karen. Could you unmute yourself and tell us a bit about yourself?
Hi everyone, and thanks Andrew, and congratulations on your first one that you've actually hosted it. Yeah, brave man. I will get there, doing my own hosting, but yeah, give me time. I'm Karen Spence, and I'm based in Central Scotland. I've been part of ILN since the end of January, and during the day I run my own pet supplies business, and I've got my own shop in a local high street. But retail at the moment, up and down, not very consistent, which is why I'm trying to get things online. That's it for now. Speak to you soon.
Great idea. And Janine, can we unmute Janine so that she can speak to us? How do we unmute? I've muted you, so I need to unmute you. Is that all right now? Maybe we can hear you. May take a little while to clear it. This is me being not very professional.
It usually goes faster when when the person does it herself. But have you
Are we unmuted yet? Not. I don't know what I'm doing here. This is
Janine,
as a.
you try to go to the top of the screen and see the little microphone and try to unmute there. Just make it not red.
Yeah.
Unmuted.
If
Looks
she does,
unmuted to me.
if
No.
she does it, maybe.
We're going to have to move on, aren't we? I'm sorry about that, Janine.
Yeah.
So,
And she,
sorry, is someone
Yeah,
able
yeah.
to unmute Janine?
no,
Krista,
I
can you
think
unmute her?
no.
No, all right. So let's move along, shall we? Is that okay?
Yeah, we'll have to.
So this is my first hosting of one of our on-air gatherings of the team, and I've struggled, but I'm here to tell you about conquering limiting beliefs. And I was determined not to have a limiting belief about setting up the on-air hangout, and we're a bit late, so my apologies for that. I'm Andrew Smith. I'm in Sheffield in the UK, and I've been with Team Phoenix in Ireland for about 7-8 weeks, something like that now. And it's very beginning stages. I'm using the training within the ILN back office to help me to sort my own apsmithonline.com situation out. So I'm branding myself, and the thing about ILN training is that it helps you to run your own business, even if you don't want to get involved in the business opportunity of ILN itself. But now, for those of you in the chat, I've sent a link out. I don't know if you can see that, and I've also sent this out on Facebook. So if you're watching the broadcast, there is a link in Facebook on Andrew Paul Smith, and also in Be Inspired, of the document that I've prepared about conquering limiting beliefs. So if you look up in the chat there, you'll be able to see that and download it either now or later. But this is my presentation. I've been working on it most of today, so I'm hoping that this is going to be something that's going to help us not only with our ILN business, but also with our lives. And it's called Conquering Limiting Beliefs, and there's a subtitle to it: How to Remove the Real Causes Preventing You from Getting What You Want in Your Life. And I don't have all the answers. I do still have my own limiting beliefs, but creating the Hangout wasn't one of them. Just had to persevere. But tonight I'm going to share with you my strategy for dealing with these things called limiting beliefs when they show up. So in my work as a coach, I've seen the effect of removing limiting beliefs many times. The client becomes more positive and gets a real sense of power over their lives. So if that interests you, you're obviously in the right place tonight, or even whenever you're watching it, because it's going to be on YouTube, isn't it? So you can watch it anytime you like. The late president's wife, Eleanor Roosevelt, said, "Your level of belief in yourself will inevitably manifest itself in whatever you say or do." If you can imagine that each belief, whether it's a negative or a positive belief, that you hold is it's like the top of a table which is supported by legs of evidence that hold it up. For example, your belief that you make friends easily might be based on the evidence that people tell you that you're talkative and outgoing, and that people smile and sometimes even laugh when you're talking to them, and that at parties you easily get along with the people that you meet for the first time. These reference legs hold up that tabletop of your belief. This works too for limiting beliefs. You don't just believe the negative beliefs out of thin air. There's a reason why you believe, and you can't believe that you can't do certain things like run a great online business, for example. The point I'm making here is that you can find references to believe anything that you want to believe, and if you want to destroy a limiting belief, you have to take the power away from the legs that support it, and then the tabletop will fall. bit like the belief in Father Christmas. I hope there's no children watching this. When you're a child, your mum and dad tell you that Father Christmas is coming and he's going to bring you lots of toys and presents, and you've got to behave yourself. And when you see aunts and uncles and friends of your mum and dad, they say, "What's Father Christmas bringing you?" I think our youngest son, he was 9 before he twigged that maybe Christmas is just a time for giving gifts. So I don't want to end that one on a bad note. So now I've come to an acronym, and the acronym is for the word beliefs. And the B in this acronym, beliefs, is be true to yourself. E is examine whether your beliefs are helping or hindering you. LIE stands for lie, and what other people believe can be a lie to you. And then F is for, the F in beliefs is for false beliefs need to be questioned. And by doing this, that tabletop, the legs fall away and the tabletop falls down. And finally, S is support new empowering beliefs with great reference legs, ones that are really sturdy and won't fall down. And then moving towards mastery, here we can see that when we rid ourselves of negative, disempowering beliefs, we are then able to move on to a place where we are then in charge of our lives and our beliefs, and we can take responsibility for our actions. And I've got a number of points with this. Number 1, to simply recognize that our limiting beliefs may be enough to make them go away. Once you know you have a problem, then you have a better chance of dealing with it. Number 2, change your focus from bad to good, from negative to positive, from limiting to enabling beliefs. And number 3, you can shape limiting beliefs through affirmations, such as I radiate energy and vitality. And it may sound a bit odd to begin with, but repetition is the mother of skill, and by changing your language from negative to positive, the world as you see it will change. Psychologists say that it takes us 7 hearings of a new fact before we're willing to accept it, and 21 hearings if we have previously accepted a contrary or different set of facts. So how did your beliefs come to you? I'm just going to have a drink of water. How did your beliefs come to you? The answer is by hearing them repeated to you many times, maybe by the quietness inside your own mind, but maybe more likely from a person in a place of authority. Therefore, to change your beliefs, you need to affirm enabling beliefs by speaking them out many times. And number 4, here's a great exercise for you to do. Write down your negative and limiting beliefs on the left-hand side of a piece of paper, and then on the right-hand side, write the empowering, positive, opposite belief. And then take time to cross out the negative words, and then underline and rewrite in bold the empowering counterparts, and then read them out loud, maybe 21 times over 21 days. What about stubborn limiting beliefs that just won't shift? That's really where the rubber hits the road. It's all very nice and well when you're dealing with something really simple and straightforward, but what about the stubborn ones? These kind of negative beliefs are usually based on fear, and realizing that fear is irrational may dissipate the limiting belief immediately that you recognize it is, recognize it for what it is. The best question to ask in these circumstances is, where did that belief come from? Maybe it was an overconcerned parent who kept telling you about the dangers and risks of doing something when you were a child that is subconsciously holding the adult you back. Maybe a teacher at school told you that you lack certain skills which you have in abundance today, and yet the fear instilled in you by that person in authority remains with you. Fear can be a good thing. Didn't expect me to say that, did you? Fear can be a good thing. Without it, we might walk into the middle of the road without looking, or off the edge of a cliff. And yet fear and extreme excitement might feel almost the same. I've had the butterflies all day preparing for this hangout. What one stage performer describes in terms of anxiety, butterflies and showtime can for another result in perspiration, clammy hands and a pumping heart. Fear can be seen as a warning to prepare you for danger, and yet it can also be false evidence appearing real. Maybe like life, fear has no meaning except for the meaning you give it. Limiting beliefs are the major culprit for stopping us achieving our goals. They stop us from living our values. They act as rules that stop us getting what is possible, what we are capable of, and what we deserve. Question: what stops you from getting your goals? Answer: limiting beliefs. We copied them from childhood. Parents are human. They make mistakes. They are subconscious, and we need to have them revealed to us. The media and soap operas propagate limiting beliefs to keep us tuning in. And here is just a number of examples of limiting beliefs that you might say, yeah, that's me, I've got that one. I need to work very hard to have enough money to live. No pain, no gain. I need to be rich to be happy. Success takes a long time. I can't trust anybody. Most people are luckier than me. You can't get over a bad start in life. I can't work a computer. I can't live without ... You finish the sentence yourself. I can't win without other people losing. I've reached my limits. Those are just some negative beliefs that we may have, that we might not actually say them out loud. Maybe we do, but they're just in the back of our minds all the time. All of the above beliefs only become true when you act as if they are. So, act as if they aren't. Ask yourself, of these and any other disempowering beliefs that you may have, what would happen if they weren't true? How would that change things? We are often unaware of our own limiting beliefs, so it helps to be able to articulate what they are in our own experience. We can achieve this by thinking about our goals. When we are aware of the effect that these negative beliefs are having on our lives, we are much more likely to want to drop them. So try out this exercise whilst thinking of your goals and score yourself out of 10 whilst thinking about these following statements. 1 is equal to I cannot achieve my goal, and 10 means that you can achieve your goal. And as I say, this document that I'm reading from, it's available, so if you don't get it, then let me know on Facebook or elsewhere on YouTube, and I'll make sure that you get this document, so you don't have to make notes. If you're trying to write all this down, it'd be too fast for you, wouldn't it? Yeah. So you're going to be able to get this document. Number 1, I deserve to have better relationships. Is that a 1? Is that a 10? 1, yes I do, or 1, no I don't, or 10, yes I do. Number 2, I have the skills and abilities to achieve my goal. 3, it's possible to achieve my goal. 4, my goal is clear. 5, my goal is desirable. 6, my goal is ecological. I've got enough time to achieve it. 7, my goal is worthwhile. If there are any scores below 7, there must be a limiting belief that can be identified by thinking of why you gave yourself a low score. A similar exercise to identify limiting beliefs is to ask yourself why you aren't achieving your goals, and just wait for those negative beliefs to flow forth in your answers. It might be negative thinking, or you may find that the goal hasn't been thought out carefully enough. Perceived limitations may not be real limitations, but once you are aware of them, you can work on them. Most limits in your thinking have been set by yourself over the years rather than being based on reality. Obstructions are usually created from the inside. And then we come to a new acronym, PAW, PAW. P is for possibility, A is for ability, and W is for worthiness. Under the word possibility, I've got you have to know your goals are possible and realizable. Yes, there are physical limits to what can be done, but you won't know what they are in your case until you've reached them. Please don't mistake possibility for competence. If you don't know how to do something. Don't say you are incapable. Find someone to show you how to do whatever you want to do. The mental ceiling which you have installed in your thinking needs to be removed before you can know how very able you really are. You will need to have a knowing, a certainty in your heart that you have the ability either to do what needs to be done, or at least that you are able to give it your best shot before you will be able to realize your goal. Muhammad Ali wasn't bragging. He delivered all that came from his Louisville lips. His doubts had gone. He was certain when he said, "I am the greatest." Until you achieve, you don't know that you can't. A negative is unprovable. It's only possible to say that you haven't reached it yet, not that you can't achieve it. You may as well believe that you can until you get there. That's exactly what Roger Bannister did when he ran the first sub 4-minute mile. And within 2 years, dozens of other athletes had done what was thought previously to be physically impossible.
Andrew?
Hello? Yes?
Yeah, can you maybe share your screen so that we can read what you're saying? Because it would be nice to have a visual as well.
I'll try that. Yeah, I can try that. Let me see. Where am I? I'm here. And where do you go to share screen?
It's the green with the arrow.
The green arrow. Where's the green arrow?
To the left. Right under the chat.
Oh, there. Yeah, I can see it. Screen share. Okay, and there we go. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Can you see what it is? Yeah. Oh no, don't want to say that now, do we? Ability. Can you see the word ability there? So under ability, so keep an open mind about your abilities. Don't boast of your limitations through a desire to appear humble or to sound modest. I suggest you record on your phone the things you say in conversation with others over the next couple of days, and then play it back and hear yourself say negative things about yourself, like, "I'm no good with money. I can't control my diet. I just can't arrive on time for anything." The exercise will show you the great need we all have to change our language so it reflects a more positive and hopeful view of our futures. Better things to say would be, "I'm not good with money at the moment," or "I'm going to find out how to be a better money manager." "I'm not controlling my eating habits at the moment," or "I am going to find someone who's lost weight and kept it off and ask their advice. In the past, I didn't arrive on time for my appointments." When you change the language you use, the knock-on effect will in time change your beliefs about yourself. Remember, repetition is the mother of skill. I'm saying that for a second time so you'll remember it. Worthiness. Under the term worthiness, I've got a belief held from childhood might be that people don't deserve anything that they haven't worked hard for. You may have heard your parents say this many times, especially when it came to you doing your homework. And yet, in adult life, who gives you permission to say when exactly it is that you have worked hard enough and that you deserve the good things in life? You do. Another belief might be that the only reason you should get things is so that you can give to others. You must never keep any excess for yourself, because the implication is you are not worthy of having luxuries. If you think there is a lack of success or anything, then if you succeed, that means that others have to fail. This makes you the bad guy for doing well, because it was at someone else's expense. The reasoning here would suggest that you shouldn't want to succeed because it's just a selfish way of hurting others. These above thoughts are usually subconscious, and therefore we would never say them out loud or be heard defending or preaching them to others. But there are many ideas like this float around in our minds, hurting our prospects each day. We have, through our belief system, become incongruous with the likelihood of our own success. Let me say that again. We have, through our belief system, become incongruous with the likelihood of our own success. I'm hoping that I'm undermining that. I'm knocking those tabletop legs down tonight to make sure that your success is much more likely as a result of what I've prepared here. We have learned here that we need to reevaluate our childhood beliefs and allow ourselves to see that we are worthy of success, and that this success can come to us without anyone else losing anything. In fact, it may help others when you succeed. Here's the words of Marianne Williamson. I'm sure you've heard them before, but they seem appropriate for us to hear right now. I'm going to have a drink of water before I read them. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. If you can speak with your parents about the way that your childhood beliefs are affecting the grown-up you, they may have the opportunity to tell you why they said the things that they did to you back then. If your parents, like mine, are no longer here, forgive them and tell yourself they brought you up the best way they knew, and they want you as an adult to make your life work the best way you can. The most important lesson to learn is that you are worthy to succeed, and if you need to employ the services of a coach to help you to come to that conclusion, there are many coaches in Team Phoenix. And that's all I've got to say. I've got to unshare my screen now, have I? Oh, it's gone. I've closed it. So there you are. Go back to full screen. Is that right? And let's open it up now. Has anyone... Oh, we've got a few new folks joined us. I see Dalco's here. And Kimberly, she showed up, and we've got. Am I looking at the right screen here?
Nope.
Sandra's here as well. So, is there anybody who's got any thoughts on what's been said, and would you like to unmute yourself and have a word or two?
Well, there's a few people who are unable to make it today. Obviously, we've got a larger team than what's on the panel. So, yeah, Team Phoenix is a huge team.
I don't know what I'm doing here. So, yeah, I'm back now. All right.
You're good?
So thank you, Kimberly, for that. Yes, the team is quite a large team, and we've only got 10 spaces on the Google Plus chat. So if you're just watching this either as a viewer or later on, I'm sorry that you couldn't get on the live chat. But for those of you who are here, are there any observations that you want to make from what you've just heard? Anything that anybody's got to say about limiting beliefs, about their own experience with them?
I can.
Come on, Tara, you can say it.
I always got something to say. Yes, this is a really great exercise for us because no matter how really good we get at this, we can find ourselves slipping up in that area a lot. And that's a perfect example right there. You know what I'm saying? I could totally say that in a totally different way. Like, I'm getting better at catching myself all the time. And I'm catching myself and turning the thought around faster every time. And every single time that I come across that, I get better at putting a stop to it and turning it into something positive. So this is a super powerful thing to know how to change your words and get good at remembering and seeing it when it happens, because The other day I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so fat. What? You're granted. Oh my gosh, I could lose a few pounds, but I'm getting better at my food choices every day. You know, and even changing the word "but" to "however." Keith taught me that. Powerful.
Also.
I am also going through a challenge today where it was actually, I started yesterday. It was just a small Facebook photo I shared about trying not to complain for 24 hours. And then Nina Maria took it up as a challenge and said, are we going to do this? Yeah. Okay. And then I think Karen was on board as well, and we just wanted to go 24 hours without complaining. So I have been watching my thoughts all day, and because complaining, I don't really complain about outside things, or not vocally anyway, but I actually found out I do it a little bit on the inside. But every time I saw it, I heard the complaining, I immediately tried to swim, and then I started working with gratitude sentences instead. So what am I thankful for? I'm thankful for this, instead of complaining and looking at the negative. So with limiting beliefs, it's also your internal dialogue, and what you say to yourself all the time about yourself usually, and the lack of confidence in certain areas. So it's about really monitoring and observing your mind, your inner dialogue, and then when you hear it, you can easily hear, okay, this is complaining, this is limiting, this is something. See if you can turn it around and put something positive in, the opposite usually, or the gratitude instead, or something. Yeah, just it is our inner chimp. If I can just show a book I'm reading, Mind Managing. It's about the inner chimp, where the chimp, we have the human and we have the chimp, and the chimp is sort of the basic instincts, what we have learned, what we have been programmed with. So the chimp is the one with all the negative things, if that's what we have been feeding ourselves with or been fed with when we were young. So we have, he tells us that we have to live with it. We have to, but we can learn strategies on how to manage it. It's mind management, yeah. So it is reprogramming our mind bit by bit.
It's so easy to get into stinking thinking. Just one bad thing happens, and it's like a spiral, a helix downwards, going down and down and down, and you end up with a shovel digging yourself into a bigger hole in the ground if you're not careful. But when I was preparing, I was thinking about the way that our negative beliefs prevent us from succeeding with our business, with our online business, and how easy it is to say things like, well, it's all right for you, you've been in it long enough, you know what you're doing now, I don't know what I'm doing. Making excuses for ourselves, and yet the only way that we're ever going to escape that stinking thinking is by halting our thoughts and making sure that what we're doing with our minds isn't tripping ourselves up so we can fall over. I'm just wondering, is Kimberly there? Have you got some words for us?
Yeah, I'm here. I think, you know, what Christy said and Tara, I mean, they really hit it, you know, in right, you know, to the point, because a lot of times it's the internal dialogue, you know, as Christy was saying. A lot of times it happens within your mind. You're not even aware that's what's happening. And, you know, once you're aware, which is a great thing, when you start watching your thoughts, you start realizing exactly what you've been saying to yourself. And then you start really analyzing, you know, where you are in your life is because of what you've been saying to yourself, not out loud, but within your head. So the more you listen to your voice, and the more you listen to what's going on, and as you put it, Andrew, stinking thinking. I love that. It's amazing because you don't actually realize that's what's going on. You know, I used to think I was a very positive person until I started listening to what was going on internally, and then you realize that a lot of the things, it's what you've heard, a lot of the negative things that, you know, it could be something your teacher said, like, you know, you're going to amount to nothing, and that just plays as a record over and over in your head. And you know, so it's very important to be aware of what's going on internally. I absolutely think that's vital in anything you're doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing, what business you're in, you know, whether in a relationship, what relationships you have. The internal dialogue has a great, you know, it really stops you from moving forward. And your beliefs a big thing, because the way you're thinking is what you really believe deep down in your heart. And what happens is your emotional mind, which is your subconscious mind, that comes into play. And it really, once you believe something, you feel it within your body. It sends a vibration, and your body starts vibrating. Once you start vibrating, it actually, you know, it turns out the results you have in your life are based on what your subconscious, what your feeling is. So if you're feeling good, you'll start looking out for good things, and good things start happening. If you're feeling bad, yeah, you start attracting it. And actually, I've got a great example. This was what was happening yesterday. I got myself into somehow a bad vibration, and everything started going wrong. I mean, literally everything that could go wrong went wrong yesterday. You know, my internet went down, everything, you know, literally I was trying to do a project. In the end, I thought, right, what caused this problem? And I realized that at some point, I got myself into a slightly negative vibration, and then it exploded and turned into something, you know, worse than it really was. So it has an effect on other things around you, because everything is energy, right, Andrew?
Oh yeah, definitely. Everything that we experience in life, it really is about the energy. And it's a dualistic world, isn't it? So there's ups and downs, there's ins and outs, there's lefts and rights, and there's negative and positive beliefs. And if you've got a good belief, then there is a doubt attached to it. You can't help it. You know, that's just the nature of our reality. That when we see the negative, when we see the positive, that negative is clinging onto the back of it. It's like two sides of a coin. So when we've got our beliefs in front of us, sometimes what happens is that because they are pre-programmed by the figures of authority, our parents, our teachers, our boss at work, our friends, our everyone around us, if we're listening to them rather than to the heartbeat of creation, I might call it, if we're not listening to the higher self, then that can take us down quite easily. And sometimes we use those beliefs that we've inherited, that we've had foisted upon us, and we identify with them. We see them as being our personality, and we are not our beliefs. We are the ones who decide what we believe. We have the ability to choose our beliefs. And what I'm saying here tonight is, have a look at what you do believe. And it's okay to have these negative beliefs, but name them and shame them. And if you're having difficulty with them, then maybe you do need someone to come alongside you, a coach to come alongside you and walk you through it. But most people can say, look, this is not who I am. This might have been who I was brought up to be, but this isn't who I am anymore. I am the one who chooses what I believe, and what will help me to get to where I want to be is the thing that I want to believe. So I'm just going off the top of my head there. Let's have somebody else. Let's have Phil. Phil, come on, you have something to say about this, I'm sure. Unmute yourself, young Phil. He's looking very studious with his glasses on tonight.
I've had to put them on, my eyes are aching. I missed a bit of it, dealing with the children. So if you summarise what the point was, maybe I'll certainly add something. Can you hear me?
Yes, you. Oh, the cheers going off in the background.
It was just a delayed feature. Sorry. It was for you, Andrew.
So yeah, just to sum up what's being said here, then, is that we have these disempowering beliefs which are kind of left over from childhood and left over from people in authority in our lives, and we've been molded by some of the negative stuff that will stop us from becoming successful, not just in ILN or in Team Phoenix, but in life, in relationships, in whatever situation we find ourselves in. If we keep on allowing our, I've called it stinking thinking, if we allow that stinking thinking to still have reign over us, we need to be able to find out what we believe, what we think, and write it all down. And if it's not working for us, if it doesn't actually take us in the direction that we want to go, we then looked at this tabletop. The belief is a tabletop, and then there's legs underneath supporting that table. And if you can take away these reference legs, then the tabletop falls, and then you're in a position to be able to create a new belief, new references that give you a positive belief that will help to take you forward, not just in your ILN business, but also in life.
That's
I don't know
right,
if that helps.
Wow,
All right.
That's a huge summary. Crikey, I don't know what to say to that. I think it's a funny one, because I mean, what comes to mind for me is a training by Mark Overson on a professional level. And I think it's in a professional, it might even be the Solomon, and he talks about people being programmed and accustomed to what to expect from life. Now, if you were brought up in a poor area and your parents had an average job, perhaps, you know, you would go on to think that that's what, you know, you can expect from life, if you like. And if you were brought up, I don't know, by a wealthy family in a prosperous area, and people had money and had dreams and you know, all that kind of good stuff, you would more likely have that attitude, have that self-belief as well. So it's certainly down to how you're brought up, where you're brought up, your experiences, and so because you're almost pre-programmed to think that way and have that kind of mindset,
yeah,
it's always difficult to remove that. If you want to really achieve something, if you're fed up with the day-to-day standard way of living, it's always difficult to change your mindset and alter it and remove yourself, free yourself from those negative changes, if you like. So it's a very interesting topic.
Yeah, I found when I was being coached that the most difficult thing for me to accept was that I was in charge of my belief system. I used to think that there were certain belief systems on planet Earth, whether they were political, philosophical, or religious, that most people adhered to, and that was the end of it. And no, it's not. If you want to get anywhere in your life, you design your own belief system. You decide what works for you and what doesn't. What works for you might not work for somebody else. What works for somebody else might not work for you. And it's not that they're wrong and that you're right, or that you're wrong and they're right. It's just that to get where you want to be, it needs a different set of beliefs. So to have the freedom to be able to design your own belief system seems like a really great thing to be sharing tonight, to say, hey, everyone who's on this Google Hangout and everybody who's watching it now and later, you can design your own belief system. What is it that you want to achieve in your life? Right, well, what are the best beliefs that will get you there? And then write them down, and then, like every other belief that you've ever had, just repeat them over and over and over again until it becomes programmed into they call it affirmations, don't they? When you affirm something over and over again, eventually it sinks into your emotional being and into your spiritual being, and suddenly you have changed. And even though you didn't get born with a silver spoon in your mouth, you've got one now. Let's just have a look. Who hasn't spoken the second time now?
Let's hear from Dave Cook, or Dalco. I don't think he's spoken yet.
Yeah, we want to hear from Dalco. Say hello, Dalco, because you weren't here right at the very beginning, so it's really nice to see you here on the panel. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, and then anything that you would like to share about this topic? The microphone is yours, Dalco. You're in.
I don't really know. I'm Dave. I went to school with Bell, who's just hidden his picture because he's laughing. Yeah, he got me on board with the ILN. That's it really, just after making a bit of income and getting out of the job I'm currently doing.
Brilliant.
Well,
what are your thoughts on the discussion so far, Dave?
well, I didn't really catch the beginning of it. Move your hand. I didn't really catch the beginning of it, but I think really, if you're, I think you have to take control of your own life and make your own decisions. And I think trying to blame anything on your past is a bit of a cop-out, to be honest.
That's the. I've just shared the document again. If you want to have a look at that, Dave. And Bex has joined us.
Hello.
Bex hasn't said anything. Hello. Good evening.
I'm a little bit late, aren't I?
So you can download that file, and anybody who's watching this can write to me on Facebook or YouTube, and I'll send that link to you of what I've been saying tonight. So just for the benefit of people who haven't seen you, Bex, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I am Bex Lund. I live in Hertfordshire in the UK, and I have been a member of ILN for about 7 weeks now. It's an amazing company, absolutely loving it, and most of all loving the people and the community of amazing internet marketers and spiritual, happy people who are all in there helping and supporting and guiding everyone along their personal goals and dreams and their road to success. So yeah, I'm loving it. So sorry that I'm late.
It's all right. It's nice to see you. But that's absolutely special what you just said there, Bex, that I've only been in Team Phoenix for 7-8 weeks, and in that time I just don't feel alone anymore. I've been doing this Be Inspired group on Facebook, and I've been doing it all by myself, and now I feel like I'm surrounded by like-minded people who see the world the way I see it, and we're all doing something that is going to benefit each one of us, and we're helping each other along the way. It's a great place to be. Team Phoenix, if you're watching this and you just want to get involved in a team of people, never mind a business opportunity, that might be a really good thing for you to do. All right, so let's go back. Who hasn't spoken? Sandra, do you have a few words for us this evening?
Sandra and Karen are listening.
I've been working on self-motivation, and along with thinking positive about your world, you have to think positive about yourself. And if you think you're incapable, you'll put a damper on the amount of effort you give. So you got to tell your mind what to think, and that takes practice. And you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So in small steps, you eventually will come around. I guess that's about it.
That's lovely. Thank you very much for sharing that. That's absolutely right. And let's all start. Never mind about being great. Let's just start. Let's get going. Let's come back to Karen. Come on, Karen. What else have you got to tell us tonight?
Right. Like Christy, I've got the same book, Mind Management with the Chimp.
Really? Well, I never did.
Not quite through it, but getting there. Another one that I'm working on at the moment as well is I've got that downloaded on is it the Amazon Kindle? It's The Magic of Believing, and that's all about empowering your life. Don't know if anyone's read that one. That's by a Claude M. Bristol. That's quite informative.
Yeah, I've
that
heard
book.
of that one.
And like Phil says, I think it depends on basically how you've been brought up and what kind of environment you've actually been part of. Because obviously that's what you're used to, that's what you've been told, and until you actually move out of that kind of environment area into a different kind of setting to realise, oh, this is completely different from what I was told, I don't think you actually realise until you actually, it happens to you. But yeah, it's you the one that has to actually change everything for yourself. And you have to actually go out there and find it for yourself as well.
Yeah, when people say they go to find themselves, that's, I suppose, what they're meaning, that we're all given the best chance that that our parents can do for us in life, but when you get to be an adult, then it's time for you to design your own life. And it's not how many years you've lived, it's how many different experiences you've had in those years. You could just live the same year over and over and over again and get nowhere fast. I remember meeting a guy, and he was a caretaker at a local church, and he was in his 90s, and he was too ill to go to the First World War. Somebody called him a creaking gate. He just had the same year over and over again. Never had the experiences of the First World War. Maybe if he'd have gone, he would have never come back. But he was still there at 90 plus. Too poorly to go to the war, but he's still doing a job of work in the same place where he was born. So we need to have different experiences to broaden our minds. And I'm not suggesting that war's a good one, but it was one that he missed out on because he was too ill. I don't know why he came to mind, but he did. So yeah, we need to have our own belief structure. We need to decide what works for us, and the only way you're going to find that out is trial and error. You've been given like a template by your parents or by your teachers at school, and now it's time for you to redesign that template and to find out what works for you. And within this internet marketing business, this ILN, what we need to do is to find out what do we say when we haven't made a sale. I haven't made a sale yet. But what do we say to ourselves about that? I'm quite comfortable about it because I've been building my own online presence with my own website. But if you're struggling with that, what is it that you're struggling with? I think, I might be wrong, I think it's something to do with your belief system, and you are telling yourself that you're not usually you're telling yourself that you're not worthy, and you are. Somebody's taking photos. Phil waited for that precise moment. Now, who else have we?
Andrew, can I just chip in there?
Sure, of course you can, Karen.
You know the document you were talking about. Is that likely to become one of the file documents within the Team Phoenix?
I can add that to there. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I've just put another link up for it, and it does actually work because we've got Christy's downloaded it now, so. That's the most recent me, as it says. Andrew, if you just look in the chat at 9:08, that's where the downloadable document is, but we can put that into Team Phoenix later, so that'd be great. So we're gonna have another camera with smile. All right, I did it at the right time then. Amazing. So I know it's about an hour now since we started the Hangout, and I don't know if there's any announcements within Team Phoenix, Phil or Christy, that we need to know about between now and next week. Who's hosting next week?
That's a good question.
I'll just go and what? Let's see. Yeah, we have a rotation. And I'm sort of the secretary, the self-announced secretary of the Hangouts. But I am definitely going to prepare the next host for, so that they usually have a week to prepare. But it's a rotation system we have, and we have the files within the group where it says what the rotation system is. and then every third time we have the spot open for a new trainee, which tonight was Andrew, and then so the next time it will be Jacob. We haven't seen Jacob unless people swap places. It says Jacob, Kimberly, and Christy the next 3 times. So we'll see if Jacob can come on next time or if he's too busy at work. But yeah, it's allowed to swap places with each other. We just have to keep the rotation going. So yeah. I will get a hold of him and see if he can do it, or else we'll swap around. But yeah.
What was I going to say? Firstly, Andrew, I just want to say well done, mate. You've done a cracking job today. It's your first time hosting a Hangout, of course. So you've done a great job. Lots to soak up, really, for everybody to take in. So we'll probably have to. I'll probably have to rewatch it anyway. In terms of announcements, there's obviously. I'll just keep under the desk. So. Obviously, everyone's aware that we've started the ILN 90-day video challenge. I know a lot of you, including myself, I'm a bit delayed. I've got to catch up. But I know a lot of you have already started it and are on track and doing very, very well. So, congratulations and keep it up because it's really good and I'm proud of everybody. There's a few that still aren't doing it. I know Dave's yet to start and do it. I'm looking forward to Dave Cook's first video. I'm trying to push him to do one. He's a bit scared at the moment, but he will. And I would say certainly check out the group that I created for the video marketing, because there's a bit of information in there at the moment, but there's going to be some really, really helpful stuff to get everybody videos ranked quite highly on YouTube and Google. It's also an opportunity for people to share information about this kind of stuff that perhaps I don't know about already, or is missing, or that will just generally help everybody. So if you haven't checked it out yet, please do so if you're taking part in the challenge. And I do urge everybody to, because obviously, as we all know, videos and video marketing is a very important part, a very important element of your business, and will grow your business rapidly if you're consistent with it, which I'm aiming to be this time around. So yeah, what was it? And for everybody who's in the group and following the steps, thank you very much, and that's about it for me.
Wonderful, thank you very much.
Yeah. If I can,
Christy. Yeah.
Yeah. Because as Phil said, video marketing is really powerful because people can see how you are, and you don't have to be perfect. You have to get rid of those self-limiting beliefs. Because
my videos, I'm certainly not perfect. I'm the least.
And for example. Yeah, I'm a bit conscious about my dialect, that I'm not fluent either in British or American, but I don't care. I speak my own accent with Danish accent, and maybe some days I have pimples, so I don't care. It's just you just have to show who you are and your everyday life and your thoughts and what you can come up with giving value. So it's really a powerful thing for people to see. I have over 300 videos on my YouTube channel right now, which is a bit scary. But people will, when they search on something, and with Phil's YouTube ranking things that we are going to I'm going to study that a bit more and go into the group a bit more. So then we can learn how to get them up. So when people write the words, they will get your video on the first page or something. So it's really about developing that skill of video marketing as well.
Yeah.
And Vincent just put out a contest in the ILN group yesterday, I think it was, that within the next week we can go through the recent training course from Mark in the Solomon CEO or the what is it, 10 million something. Yeah, I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm still at the pro. Well, I have it all, but I'm still studying pro stuff. But I am definitely going on Saturday to study that piece. It's a 1 hour training course on his steep lifestyle. Well, it's about the success mentality and to learn from others, from history, and how we can go forward. So Vincent has made a contest so that we can make a video about it and give our 5 takeaways from that course. So I'm definitely going to do that on my Success Saturday, which is on Saturday. So another great thing to attend.
And let me just say, I started watching the video. I haven't seen it all yet. I started watching it today, and it is packed to the rim with some amazing information and mindset and all sorts of different stuff from our coach. And this one's really, really good. And yes, just wait and see if you're able to get hold of it. Is it limited to people with who have bought the course, Christian? I don't know. Or has he opened it up?
Oh, well, he has an offer where you get it for the whole price of one. The big executives courses.
That's right. Yeah, $1,000 for the whole Solomon course.
Yes. So you don't have to buy the whole TLA with the vacation club and everything like we have done, but you can just buy the executive level on its own. But,
wow,
yeah.
That's amazing. Fortune.
Yeah. It's a good offer. The rest of us are paying every month for the TLA, but this is just a one-time thing. So, yep.
So what is it? It's $6,000 worth of courses for a big thing. Anyway, yeah, I've watched it and it's superb. It's really, really, really good. Oh Christ, I was going to say something else actually. I've lost my train of thought. What was it? It was to do with the video marketing group. Never mind. Over to you, Andrew.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying good night. There's people leaving the chat, and probably time for us all to. Maybe we could just all do a Phoenix team wave. Good night, everybody, and we'll reconvene next week and for another one. Maybe I'll sit out and watch it from YouTube to let somebody else come on the panel. I've been on the panel, I think, for the last 4 weeks, so I can watch it from YouTube and let somebody else on. So thank you for letting me host, and I look forward to seeing what's being spoken about next week. So you all have a wonderful evening, and if anybody wants to say good night, shout up now.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Andrew. You're awesome. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. They're all going one by one. Good night. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Good night.